Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 276. It's me and Jack in our respective locations. You're back at university talking about another week of professional wrestling. We'll talk about Dynamite. We'll talk about NXT. We'll talk a bit about Raw. I'll even quickly probably go over Halloween Havoc in like 5 minutes or less. We'll do some trivia. We'll talk some news. Timestamps for whatever you want to go to. We'll banter here a little bit before we begin. We are recording early this week because why? Sports fan.
Halloween.
Nope. I mean, partly, I guess. But we're recording this on Thursday the 30th. It'll be out on November 1st. Tomorrow is Halloween. But more importantly, Game 6 of the World Series, where Canada's team is poised to possibly win. Is that showing up?
Is it like the whole thing, or is it like they still
the whole thing, man? We're up 3-2 in a series. A lot of people were saying we wouldn't win one game or one at most. We've already won 3. They're playing great, fighting through injuries. It's been super exciting. I listened to last night's game, a lot of it on the radio, which sounds strange because I had access to it on TV, but I was raised listening to Blue Jays on the radio, so it's comforting for me. Baseball is so slow, you don't need the constant visuals.
That's why I would never want to watch it.
I know you're vaguely aware that the Blue Jays are doing well, but you don't even know the details.
I'm aware because no one will shut up about it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I couldn't care less.
It hasn't happened since I was 16, I believe it was. 1993 was the last time.
That's terrible.
And in the year before, I showed you the picture with Mueller and me.
Yeah, is that the one from the garage?
Yep, we were in the worst seats in the house for the World Series, though. So who cares? But they lost. Not the series. They lost that game that I was at, particularly. So, what's new with you? Back at school?
I'm just really tired.
You seem tired. You been up too late, living that university life, or what?
Yes and no.
Yes and no.
Been up late, I guess.
Battling your Xbox. You were having issues?
Yeah.
I wasn't joking.
Okay,
your diagnostics are good because it's usually the cords that fail. So you find a way to figure out if it's the cord or not the cord. So you went through the right steps.
I did end up having to buy a cord, which is unnecessary, but I guess I would have needed it anyways because I would need 2 HDMI cords for the multiple HDMI port anyways.
Listen.
So I guess I didn't buy it for no reason.
And your mother did the same, ordered backup cables because when they go, it's nice to have, because they will. They do fail. So I just bought extra USB-C to C, USB-C to Lightning. I was just thinking.
More the port I was telling you, so that's a little more annoying because it would be way more of a pain to like replace my HDMI port in the Xbox, or I'd have to get like someone to do it.
Yes, it would have to actually go in and get repaired, which would be frustrating. I was even thinking those headphones that you wear, they're like, they sound great, but they're pretty basic, so they'll fail at some point too.
Yeah.
But they might last you quite a while because they don't move around, right? It's when you're wrapping them up and taking them places, but yours and mine just kind of sit here. I'm trying different ones. I like them. They're from the studio set I bought your brother.
They do look different.
They're comfortable and they actually sound better when I'm mixing. I don't change. Mixing's a strong word. Do the little bit of production, I'd make it sound like I actually know what I'm doing. When I do the little bit of production I do, I used to switch headphones. I have like recording headphones and then I wear the same ones.
I do remember you doing that, yes.
Because I feel like the sound I get through the ones you're wearing, then it sounds good when it's anywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And those are super budget headphones, but that's my sweet spot, audio budget gear, like this microphone that's on camera. I hate the giant logo on it, and honestly, this mic does not sound good on my voice, but I change it to sound.
I can tell the difference.
Well, because I change it so it sounds okay. Generally, although I just turned the thing off to make it sound different, probably because I forgot it was on from earlier. But anyways, I don't know. Anything you want to discuss? Are you doing anything for Halloween tomorrow? Maybe?
I don't know.
What a university.
I really haven't decided yet.
You did get a new mask that would be appropriate.
What?
Helmet.
What? Oh, the helmet? Yeah, I would grab it, but then I'd have to like get up and whatever. But it's over on the shelf over here.
Was your purchase when you were home last week?
Yeah, amongst other things. Well, we got it was a whole mall trip on, what was it? But Saturday? Would we record all that? I think we recorded before that.
I think we did too. I think it was a post-recording trip out, yeah.
It was, yeah. But yeah, got a bunch of stuff. I got a helmet. Which I should have planned to grab that, but it's too late now.
And my space looks different, although it is the same space. I was just too lazy to turn everything around. So actually, I don't mind this.
The boring background.
It looks okay. I don't know. A little bit of sound treatment that I have in this tiny little space we have. Anyways, Kat says hello. She's been yelling a lot today. She
my chair.
still has no concept of time or when she's supposed to eat.
Did she actually speak to you, though?
Yeah, she has forgiven me, I think, officially.
Yeah, I don't know if we mentioned that.
No, it was a post Costco, and I was carrying a bunch of stuff as one does when they go to Costco with two teenage boys. So I was carrying stuff, left my shoes on to traipse through the house, and she, according to her, it was past mealtime. She might have been right. I don't remember, actually. So she was right under my feet and got stepped on. The worst I've ever stepped on her. I felt bad.
She avoided you for like at least a good day or so.
For almost 2 days. And it's not like she's a super friendly lap cat, but she's always around, right? And
you've like hid in the basement. She was in her
condo.
Top
floor of the condo.
Which she hadn't used in like years.
Yeah, and then the one night I came home after being in Mike's garage watching Jay's, I would assume. And she was in the family room fully on the footrest thing.
I think that was the night before I left, yeah.
And then as soon as I walked in the room, she disappeared down the back, like the least accessible way, and then under the couches and away from me.
She was hanging out there, yeah. She was like cat living on the basement couches, which she only ever did when Mom would lock her in the basement.
So I think her memory, we have found out, lasts about 2 days, because now she's back to I'm her favorite person. So didn't take long. I didn't even bribe her with treats because we didn't have any. We now do.
Yeah,
but
you guys got some?
We did get some.
I was going to say you need to get some. I would have, but then I forgot.
But she was my friend again before that. But I did give her some last night. But anyways, enough about cat talk, probably. Into wrestling talk. Most people have probably skipped by it into the news already, but here it comes. It is just a bumper crop of news this week. So let's talk about that now. All right, so news we both just kind of gave up this week because it was terrible.
What, second week in a row it's terrible?
I have 3 things, and you said you have fewer than I. I'm going to go first, but it's taken me a second to log in here. Very professional podcasting that's going on. Man, this flipping back and forth between you here and you not here, I'm not a smart enough man to do this.
I mean, at least you had 3 weeks where I was there, unless you're not like flipping back week to week to week.
Doing old school is easier than doing new school. It's the remembering this when I don't do it every week. That's the hard part.
That's the tricky part.
But I mean, good news for us, I guess. It's Chris Jericho's trademark has been abandoned. His AEW trademark.
That's great when we're talking about Jericho.
So it's fueled rumors. Obviously, the rumor's been going on forever that he's headed back to WWE once his contract expires, I think later this year, which is awesome. You're moving him from the program, company, and show that we enjoy the most, and putting him where we are least likely to see him.
The place I'm already ignoring.
And I'm sure WWE fans will be very happy to have him. And
everyone will be happy then. I don't want him there.
The only problem for us is it leaves some holes in the worst of.
That's true. Yeah, our worst of's actually looking really terrible this year because I've actually thought AEW's done pretty great this year.
And since without me there to supply WWE stuff, because I don't really watch it either, it's going to be...
The worst of would be terrible then.
It's going to be a mostly Dynamite or AEW, probably heavy. What do you got? I got 2 more.
I'll start with this one because I think you might find it kind of interesting. There's apparently a feeling backstage in WWE they may be pressured to push Zoe Hines, who was at a recent tryout.
Who's that?
The niece of Robert F. Kennedy, who's in
good. So the political connections are already paying off for them.
I would say it wouldn't surprise me because they seem to be obligated to push Ava despite her overwhelming lack of talent. Her dad's only on the board and, is like an all-time great, let alone being a political figure. Now that's...
It's funny you mention her because did you see, I think it was this week, she said something about how she's not at NXT because of nepotism. She's there because of her own abilities and talents.
That's hilarious.
That is incredibly lack self-awareness.
She wouldn't have made it past Evolve.
How would she have made it anywhere? You can't just walk off the street and go, hey, I'm going to be a manager or a wrestler. I don't know.
Did she play sports before or something? Because that would be...
She was The Rock's kid. I don't know. That's all I know.
That's true. I don't know.
News coming from Devon Dudley. Do you see what he said?
Yeah, this was I think I mentioned it to you about JR being racist.
JR is a racist, so last week he didn't mention names, right? But he kind of made it obvious, and then he clarified this week, yep, I was talking about JR, and from what Devon says, it was simply, I don't like you because of the color of your skin, which obviously, if that is the case, that's crazy. And JR...
I mean, he bribed in that machine, so I'm not surprised.
It wouldn't shock me either. I would be disappointed because there was a time where everybody loved good old JR. But if good old JR is a racist, then
Is he good, old JR?
I think I hear people just got home from your brother's basketball training. I got one more. What else you got?
The only other one I had was that Tegan Knox made her debut at the Collision tapings.
Dude, so you went to 3 and I went down to 2 because that was my only other story.
No, this is my second one. That's the only all I got.
That's
and
what I mean.
Teaming with Miranda Alize on Collision, who she was on ROH.
Thank you, because
a while back.
The name was super familiar to me.
Yeah, she's in ROH. It sounded familiar too, and luckily Cultaholic had the info. They were she was a regular in ROH a few years ago.
I thought she was all right because it was when I was reviewing it in solo missions. I'm almost positive that she was there.
It said that she was in ROH from to 2023, so she probably was around during the era you had done it, which would have been 21 probably.
I'm pretty sure. And to add on to that, I guess you stole my news story, but this adds on to it. It's that they are a real life couple apparently, Alize and Tegan Knox, formerly Tegan.
I was gonna say I thought it was a random pairing, so I guess that kind of fills in. Or it's Nixon Newell is I think your
yes,
actual
that's Nixon Newell. Yeah, is apparently the name. But yeah, that you stole my last one, so I got nothing else.
Yeah, what a
banner week
run that is.
All right, well, we'll wrap that up. We'll move into the next segment where we just finished watching it. We'll talk about it now. It's AEW Dynamite. Tell me about the Dynamite we just finished.
They really decked it out with the Halloween get up.
Yeah, I forgot it was like a special episode or whatever.
Kinda. It was more so. It wasn't. I guess it was kind of special, but more so just like
themed
kind of thing.
Yeah, just a Halloween theme, I guess.
The Trons are different. They had like these little tunnels for that were Halloween decos, so that was cool. Like we kind of had tunnels, which is
a little bit, almost.
The theme was different too. Like the theme was like the Dynamite theme, but with like some Halloween,
which I would never have noticed if you didn't point it out.
I just noticed it, I heard it throughout the show, so I kind of picked up on it more and more. So I thought that was kind of neat. So yeah, like they did do some theming for the show, which is kind of. He also had people in like inflatable costumes, which actually kind of had a point.
They did.
So that was kind of interesting, but we'll talk about that later.
Yep.
The first match was we got Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin against Death Riders, which is Garcia and Yuta, aka what I call the Death Riders B team.
Definitely.
And what they labeled as a trick or treat tornado tag. So like it's like how WWE like always insists on a trick or street fight.
Yes, they do.
That kind of ordeal. I wouldn't be surprised if they have one on SmackDown. Probably.
I would. There'll be something like that.
Halloween,
some excuse to get people in costumes for sure.
Something like that, yeah, as well. And they came up to Garcia's theme, which I think just sounds really cool. His Death Riders theme, it sounds really sick. I think he debuted it when we were there live.
I actually do kind of like it.
I just think it's just so different from like the rapish theme he had that was made by our boy Kevin Bennett.
No, right. Local indie guy.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. So I like it, and I think it was funny that Yuta's been there for like a year in the Death Riders, and Garcia just pulled up, but they're using Garcia's theme.
Right. Poor Yuta, eh?
Just no respect for Yuta.
From anyone. The crowd, his own teammates, anyone.
Production team.
Anyone,
yeah. Because he's still getting crazy hate. He's like their Dominic Mysterio.
He is.
But yeah, so Yuta goes looking into the ring, and he pulls out a middle finger instead, flips off the fans. Darby hits him with a chair, puts him on the chair, and then suicide dives into the chair with Yuta on it.
Looked cool.
Just, when Darby runs like 1,000,000 miles per hour. Yuta and Garcia beat down Cassidy in the crowd. Darby coffin drops off of a railing. Darby, then he's running atop the barricade to hit Garcia with a drop kick. Cassidy with a slingshot DDT to Garcia, and then a tilt-a-whirl DDT to Yuta. Garcia gets Cassidy in a guillotine and wear him out, puts him on a table. Yuta with a big splash to the table, which was pretty good.
Yeah, it looked good.
Cassidy with the diving DDT to Yuta, followed by a coffin drop from Darby for a near fall. We get Cassidy with an orange punch to knock Garcia off the apron. Then he hits a suicide dive, puts Garcia through the table, and we get Darby putting Yuta in the Scorpion Deathlock for the tap out. Yeah,
I thought this was an entertaining opener. The tornado rules just make it feel more frantic because there's stuff happening all over the place, which also makes it
and we got the street fight-ish stipulation, so we had some plunder there. Not a ton, but some fun stuff.
They have trouble keeping up camera, director, I don't know who you blame for it, right? It's hard to know where they need to be at all times when they're doing it live, but the crowd loves Darby and Cassidy, so putting them together makes sense, and putting them against, obviously getting a win against the B team, as you would say. Allen using Sting's submission makes sense because he was just back as well, so that's fine. I thought it was a really solid opener. I think it was like 12 minutes when I checked, so predictable outcome for sure, but I
Not
thought
the
it was
craziest
fun.
match ever either, but it doesn't have to be given what we've been seeing
That's
recently.
right. Yeah, it's TV opener. Can be.
I thought it was generally like pretty entertaining.
Me too.
The result was clear, but like the match itself, I thought was pretty enjoyable and like some good spots, nothing crazy, but some good ones still.
Yep.
Then we got a quick Hook promo. He talks about being the underdog in the main event tonight. His main goal is to win, but he's also doing his best to make sure Joe doesn't win, which he failed miserably at.
He did.
He literally lost.
He had one job.
And he said Joe showed the world who he really is, but he already knew. And I thought like what he said wasn't bad, but it's just the Hook's delivery is always like kind of missing.
I agree. I think it's smart to keep it brief, which they did, because this is not. And I started by saying he's not a skilled mic worker at this point, but like, do we have the sample size to go?
I feel like he's been here for like at least 3 or 4 years.
I think we can just go, he's not good at it.
Yeah.
And that's, again, just minimize.
He's got a decent ring style, but like his promo delivery is just missing something.
And I don't know why he deserves to be in this match, but at least the history with Samoa Joe makes sense, and he's been the one.
He definitely deserves this match the least.
He is right in saying like he's the one that said Joe was up to no good for a while since he didn't let him back or replaced him so quickly. So I guess he was right about that.
I don't love that Hook's not in the ops anymore, just because like Joe would have done such a good job of talking for him.
I agree. Right? They kind of work together in the limited bit that we got. Yeah.
No, it was a good run. I mean, admittedly, I do like the ops better with Hobbs because I just generally like Hobbs more. Me too. But for Hook's sake, the ops would have been better with him.
Mm-hmm. For his sake.
Yeah. Then we get a quick Callis interview. He says he'll show everyone his family has never been stronger because we have that segment later on. But he sees the Bucks and calls them over. He tries to like kind of pitch for them and join the family again. The treatment to them lately has been criminal, and it would help for them to have a family, to have their back. And he tells production to cue the special entrance for them. So, and we hear the music playing because their match is next. And then we get them walking by the people in the inflatable costumes, which includes the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which you can see the Bucks are kind of spooked by that.
Because I was Hangman years ago.
Hangman told that, a few years back. So I thought that was a neat callback.
And it's sort of setting things up for later too, right?
It does, yeah, right.
So yeah, this was just like classic heel Callis, right? He's delusional.
Callis is always working the grift, right?
And he's still trying to recruit, and he doesn't think that he'll have any problems with Takeshita and Okada because, he wants them both.
And his family's the greatest ever.
Right. So this is just him being like a 80s, 90s manager, and I'm always a fan of it. Just a slime ball who never stops thinking about himself and his family, right?
Yeah, I love Callis. That's great. Then we get the Bucks match, which is Bucks, Jet Speed, FTR, Jurassic Express. Winners get a shot at Brodito at Full Gear.
Pretty crazy.
We get the Bucks with their full theme and entrance back. Callis appears on the Tron to give them a big ol' intro, kind of like he does for Hechicero.
Yeah.
And we get them with like pyro and everything. So Callis,
the pyro scares them. It's so much.
Yeah. Callis kind of pulls through and gives them their big entrance back. So that was kind of interesting.
Now, let's go through each team. What have the Bucks done to deserve a shot? Are they winning recently, right? Yes.
They just lost 2 matches.
Right. And what about Jurassic Express? They won.
They won at Wrestle Dream, and they won the 8-man tag. So they deserve a title shot most of all, actually.
FTR?
They won at Wrestle Dream, but lost the 8-man tag. So I'd say that's fair.
And Jet Speed?
Lost at Wrestle Dream, but won the 8-man tag.
So Bucks are actually least.
Bucks are definitely the least.
Interesting. So I was asking because I wasn't sure, and that's why I was like, I feel like they can't have all 4 of them deserve to be here.
No, I think the Bucks definitely don't deserve.
But they all deserve it more than Hook deserved his spot in the main event.
I mean, Hook's at least been winning on Collision because he was a team with Eddie. And
sorry, winning where?
Actually, on Collision.
Okay, so
but
didn't even happen.
That still counts technically. I would argue that Hook actually deserves the shot more than the Bucks.
If a match is won on Collision and no one is there to see it, did it actually happen?
Okay, just because we don't watch it.
True, that's true.
It. But I would honestly just give him the match to Jurassic Express because I'd love Jurassic Express and Brodito anyways.
And hey, it was an awesome match. Just trying to clarify kayfabe wise, like who belongs here and who doesn't, sort of thing.
Yeah, I do actually think most of this makes sense. And honestly, I can't be mad at the Bucks being here because if I've said it once, I'll say it a million more times.
They're
the Bucks
killing
have been doing great this year.
Yep. They're killing it.
We get Speedball backing up Dax to the ropes, and he just kicks the crap out of him really early on.
He did a bunch of times.
Spots, yeah. FTR and the Bucks double team Knights. They're all kind of working together. Dax with the superplex tonight onto the pile of people on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
After some dives, we get Luchasaurus hot tag flare. He's just uber popular. He's killing it.
He looked great in this, I thought.
He did. I love how much people love him too.
They really gave him time to shine in this, I thought.
He hits a double chokeslam to FTR, then chokeslam to Matt, then he chokeslams Nick onto Matt, then standing moonsault to Matt for a 2 count. Perry jumps off his back to hit the destroyer to Nick. So kind of like shades of what we saw at Wrestle Dream a little bit. The Bucks take out both members of Jurassic Express with double super kicks. Then Speedball kind of kicks them both, but he takes a double super kick as well. Then a smash contraption to Cash. Then a BTE trigger tonight for near fall. The Bucks really just like kind of cut loose in this one.
They did
run there. It was pretty bananas. And then there's a bunch of stuff towards the end. FTR able to capitalize hit night with this match contraption, and FTR get the dub.
Yeah, this was a pretty awesome match.
Fun,
and recap was hard for you to keep up with it for sure. Second half, like final few minutes were bananas. I thought, like I said, they really made Luchasaurus look. First of all, physically, he just looks like a giant compared to everybody.
Yeah, what was it? He was in the ring with I think it was both jet speed guys and someone
he's just
else.
way bigger, and so he came across as a powerhouse, but also agile, and everybody got time to look good here, and FTR winning.
Maybe least of all FTR. Ironically.
I think so too. And then they
look bad. I feel like they did the least.
Yeah, and they are probably like, you guys go ahead and look great. We'll take the win, right? And Brodito FTR should be awesome because you've got super heels and mega baby faces.
And what I like about that too is because I didn't think we'd get babyface. So I already ruled out Jet Speed and Jurassic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Brodito beaten the Bucks. But remember, they went to a draw with FTR before Forbidden Door, so neither team has beaten the other yet. So there's actually stakes and intrigue to a match with Brodito and FTR.
I feel like they're going to be saying things about Bandito's grandma in a promo.
Yeah, I could see
which
that.
I'm fine with. As long as Grandma's fine with it, I
don't think they will. I think Stokely will.
Yes, Stokely or Dax, I think will.
Yeah. I wish this went longer, but for what we got, I thought it was pretty sick.
Yeah, it was very fun.
Like you said, everyone got time to shine. Maybe least of all FTR, but most people look good. Luchasaurus killed it. Bucks went on a tear again. I just feel like, and we've said it before, I've said it most of all, like they've just seemed to have really stepped up their game this year. I don't know what it is, but
did you mention the spot where Kevin Knight drop kicked one of them off the shoulders into the?
Yeah, he drop kicked Perry off of someone's shoulders onto other people. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, the fact that he could jump up and drop kick somebody.
It's crazy. But the Bucks just feel like they've been really just killing it this year. I saw like them saying something about how a lot of people are retiring. They're not far behind. That would be really a shame because they still got it. And
they put a lot of miles on those bodies, though.
They probably have. That's fair.
For sure have. They're not exactly working
to stop anytime soon. They're great. I mean, say what you want about them outside of the ring.
They're pretty great inside the ring.
Pretty flawless. But I'm pretty excited about the prospect of Brodito FTR. Their Dynamite match was pretty awesome, despite the double draw finish.
Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine Brodito win. I just don't see them losing it because
Me either.
It's still such a hot commodity. But I do like the intrigue of the match just because we haven't had a winner yet. I would love to see Brodito Bucks again, but we did just have Brodito beat them in that tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So while that's not a big deal to me, it does make like FTR is a more interesting match.
I agree.
So I would have loved Jurassic Express too, just because I think that's such a fresh match with them being back and Brodito being a new team, but that can always be done down the line.
Yeah, we can get to that, and we got a heel to go against the faces.
Yeah, it always makes more sense to do that, but we'll see where it goes. Then we get the long-awaited Don Callis Family Summit. I've seen a lot of people excited for this one in the lead-up.
I liked half of it. I'll say that.
Just because of the... obviously, we know where things are going. So, Callis and the whole family come out, except for Takeshita. We have tables and chairs set up in the ring, and also Archer gets his own chair.
We both noticed that Archer... They do not have room for him at the table. He doesn't even get the kids' table. He just gets no table.
It's not even that he doesn't get a table. It's like he could be sitting on the end of the table. That's fine, but I'm pretty sure he didn't get a name tag. They all had like the name cards.
They did. I was thinking somebody's job that day was to make name tags for them,
like at a wedding.
Yeah,
Dinner. I think they had it at was that the Jim and Pam's wedding in the office? I don't remember. Like I feel like
Some weddings do. They have
right? Like you know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you just need to label it right, stuff like that. So Callis says he's here to spell rumors and answer questions. Rocky Romero stands up and asks the first question because that's who I want to hear speak.
Yeah, I feel like they were dragging out the first half of this with people talking that shouldn't be talking.
Strange.
I don't need to hear Rocky or, no offense, Josh Alexander.
I'm fine with hearing Josh Alexander. He didn't even say that. Rocky Romero should have gotten the short part. Josh Alexander said less than Rocky Romero. Let's give Josh Alexander more than Rocky Romero, and then we're fine.
Yeah, that's fair.
He asks who the Callis family is. He says they're the largest and most dominant faction in wrestling today, and Takeshita, quote unquote, couldn't be here because of travel issues, but they're all here in spirit. He reveals the newest masterpiece called La Familia, and it is a new painting with Jack Callis and the entire.
Everyone's super jacked with Callis in front of them all.
Even saw, I'm pretty sure, Trent and Brian Cage there, even though they're both injured. I'm pretty sure I saw Brian Cage. Then Alexander talks and he says the second question is what they're all about. He cuts to a video on the screen, which is just like Callis talking about power. We get highlights of their recent title wins and stuff. So that was neat. Fletcher talks next and says the third question is why they do what they do. He pulls out like a paper, which is like the oath they all took before joining.
I don't think has ever been mentioned till this point.
Not that it really needs to be mentioned, I guess. And it talks about like they don't reveal their secrets. They help each other regardless of potential injury, which is like, I did like the way he said that though, because it made it seem like, I don't know, like they have to protect their own interests because like Callis wants them to, but like even if they're like gonna get hurt, it's like you're gonna go help your buddy even if like Hangman's gonna kick your ass or something, right? I did like the way that was phrased. Then he keeps going, but he gets cut off because Takeshita's music hits and he comes out. He has such a good like presence, and his like facial expressions, like just like the expression, he looks like pissed off, but like I don't know. It's just there's some nuance there that's hard to explain. But like just Takeshita's facial expressions, I think are really great. It was kind of similar to last week when he came out after Okada beat Bandito. It's just like something about that facial expression.
I think he and Okada excel at that.
I agree.
It's part of why I'm enjoying this so much.
Yeah. Okada kind of stands up as Takeshita gets in the ring. Callis is trying to calm him down immediately. He senses the tension brewing. He says he named Takeshita the Alpha, but now it's a family of alphas, immediately diminishing Takeshita. And there's going to be push and pull when that's the case. At the end of the day, they're a family, and the final question is, how do they succeed? They succeed by listening to what he wants, and there is no I in team, but there is in family, which I thought was a great line. I love that. He says Takeshita was his first, and they built this family on the ashes of Omega's career, but he decides what happens, and Takeshita is the first in, but he can be the last out. He says he needs Takeshita to put his ego aside and shake Okada's hand. Okada nods kind of like confidently as he's staring down Takeshita. Callis tells Takeshita to ignore the fans who are chanting no and to shake Okada's hand. It's not about his ego, it's about his honor as a wrestler and a member of the family. He asks Takeshita to do it for him, and Takeshita, he's thinking about it. He does extend his hand. Okada also thinks about it and slowly flips him off.
Awesome.
And the rest of the family intervene to cool things off as Takeshi's like getting angry, and Okada's just like smiling, like
standing there smiling as he does.
And Callis, he wants to show them how to work together, so they're gonna have a tag match on Collision.
Yeah, the whole part before Takeshita shows up to me was kind of pointless, and they were just, I think, trying to build up the suspense of him coming or whatever.
I did kind of like that though. And I like that, like they kind of throw like, oh, he's not going to be here, but then like he's gonna be here, which it kind of makes you wonder like what their goal is. Like I feel like they maybe because they know Takeshita's kind of on his way out, so they're like they were trying to prevent him from coming or something. But like I did like the way they kind of
were they giving an excuse because clearly he didn't have travel issues. Was Romero giving an excuse to? Or maybe because like they save face, like he's not showing up.
Yeah, and he didn't come out with them.
But like once Takeshita came out, I thought it got way better, and just the dynamic of, I find it really interesting because you've got Takeshita and Okada who basically say nothing, right, and are somehow building this awesome feud with almost doing nothing.
Really great.
And then Callis in the middle who never shuts up, right? So it's kind of a cool.
And Callis, I think, has done a lot of the heavy lifting pretty well, I would say.
And it's just this simple story of we have a generational talent who is not far from his peak, right? In Okada. He's still awesome. Maybe he's not peak Okada, and he's on a little bit coming over the hill. And you got Takeshita, who's
Takeshida's
just
on like the other end of that hill,
right,
yeah.
and he's the next one, and they're both in the same faction, and it's really hard to contain it. So I like the second half of this a lot. As soon as the Takeshita Okada dynamic is awesome, even though they barely do anything, but it works so well. And Okada is just such an awesome, just crap disturber, right? And he knows he can back it up, or has a group of people to back him up. So he just
knows
does
Callis is gonna back
just
him
does
up,
what he
right?
wants. It's great.
I think like because of Okada's reputation, his history is like a top guy, and he's also has a belt. Callis is probably going to side with him.
It's like Callis never thought he would get Okada, so he was pumping Takeshita's tires so hard before that, and that's like, oh crap!
He has Okada.
Now I have Okada, so time to pump the brakes on Takeshita.
He's kind of getting the shaft, yeah.
Right, and Takeshi's like, hell no.
I was really expecting the full turn here, so I'm kind of surprised they didn't do it, but I'm not even mad about it. The slow burn has been really interesting, and they're really just making us wait for it, which I think is smart because the payoff is going to be so much more rewarding. Like, you see how much the crowd wanted to happen here,
and they're like, it's definitely gonna happen. You know what
we
I
know
mean? They're not trying to find ways to make it will they or won't they. It's like, no, it's happening.
It's when will they?
Yeah, it's fine like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like, it's not the exact same thing, but it's like the Batista Triple H thing where like you knew that was going to happen,
which I thought was actually well done.
Right. Or even Wardlow MJF, they did that pretty well back in the day.
Right.
Or they were setting up Luchasaurus and Christian pretty well. Obviously that didn't pan out for outside factors, but they're playing this really well.
I agree.
The crowd was like begging for a turn here and didn't happen. And I kind of like, it makes sense the way this went too, because like Takeshi's been here the longest in terms of being in the Callis family. So he's probably got the strongest rapport with Callis. So Callis is like, shake hands for me, and Takeshi is like, he's gonna begrudgingly do it because he's got the most ties to Callis, right? You would think. But then Okada is kind of putting strain on that relationship, and especially with how Callis seems to, like you were saying, favor Okada now and not really give him any crap, but he's like kind of like, Takeshita, you gotta make good with it.
Because Okada's the one who's blatantly doing aggressive things all the time. And he's not getting any heat.
Care when he hit the Rainmaker, he flips him off all the time. He shut off the TV, right? So yeah, but I do think the payoff is going to be great.
Me too. Such a simple story, so well done.
And the match is going to be really great too, which I could see being the C2 final at World's End, but
we'll see.
Maybe not. Then we get a hype package.
Juice box is great for audio, by the way.
Yeah, we get a hype package for Olympia from CMLL.
Have we seen her before?
I haven't.
Me either. And she is impressive looking. She looks like Beth Phoenix, kind of.
She was a luchador.
Super jacked, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully she's cool.
She's challenging for Monet for the CMLL title on.
Good luck with that. But
so cool. Won't watch it.
Yep.
Then we get a Statlander interview. She talks about Monet being upset and embarrassed from last week. She'll be there on Collision to watch the match with Olympia. She's also here tonight if Monet wants to say anything to her face, and she's got the belt that Monet doesn't have.
Yeah, it was fine, which I think is the best you're going to get from Statlander. They kept it simple and
better than last time.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible.
Then we get Moxley taking on Kyle O'Reilly, the sequel.
Yeah, because O'Reilly beat him last week.
O'Reilly did beat him last week, and it was a kick-ass match.
It was pretty good.
O'Reilly with a dragon screw with Mox tied in the corner. He goes for the leg again. Mox avoids, hits a pile driver for 2. Mox gets O'Reilly in a Fujiwara armbar, switches that to a crossface. Doesn't work. He switches that in a crucifix submission. O'Reilly is able to get to the ropes. O'Reilly also does some submission switching of his own a couple times. Gets Mox an ankle lock. Mox is about to escape. He like crosses Mox's legs, stomps on his Achilles, and hits a knee to the back of the neck for 2. That would probably hurt like hell if you stomped it right.
Yes, it would.
But no one really hurts their Achilles. So
nobody. Never happens to anyone. It's just a minor injury. It's like a hangnail.
It's paper cut.
Basically, yeah.
Paper cut on your leg, right? Because you can't get paper cut.
Still got the boot and the crutches up there somewhere.
They've always been there, I feel like.
Just in case.
Yeah, you never know if that's true. Mox and O'Reilly trade knees. O'Reilly with the KTFO. Mox goes for the gosh pile driver. O'Reilly really cool countered that into the triangle choke.
I liked it, yeah.
It's not working, so he lets go, nails a PK, then Mox comes back and clobbers him with a lariat. O'Reilly gets Moxley in an ankle lock again. Moxley able to launch the ropes, and he rolls out, armbar on the floor, or a juge.
Huge.
O'Reilly with the dragon screw that lands Mox on seated chair. He goes for that drop kick, but Shafir gets in the way. Mox goes for a Death Rider on the chair. O'Reilly avoids it, locks in a guillotine, and then the count hits 10 as the guillotine's still locked in. We get a draw. O'Reilly wants to restart. Shafir just decks poor Aubrey Edwards. Claudio jumps O'Reilly. They beat him down until Roddy comes down for the save. Yuta and Garcia attack him. Then Darby, Cassidy, Briscoe come down. Death Riders clear out. Darby gets a mic and asks where they're running. They have not suffered enough. Briscoe says the Death Riders walk around like they're bad, but they're fake ass tough guys because they continue to run. And he has the perfect solution. Cassidy casually says blood and guts.
Yeah, I thought, first of all, like a nice change of pace from the previous two matches. I like variety, right? So we got a nice singles match here with contrast of styles, with Moxie kind of going brawling and O'Reilly like the technical guy. And Moxie's afraid to quit, and O'Reilly's a guy that can make you quit in a million different ways, right? So it's kind of nice for them to have a role for O'Reilly because we really like him, but they never really have plans.
I love O'Reilly.
They never really have plans for him, so using him in this capacity is kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there is really a plan with here, or if it's just to get the blood and guts.
I think it's just to get there.
I do too, but I don't mind it because having him go against Mox twice in a row and not lose looks really good on him.
And O'Reilly looked good with a bunch of transitions and submissions, and Moxie somehow, it's like really believable that he's a little bit nervous he's going to tap out or quit or whatever again. And I thought Marina decking Aubrey got a good reaction, and Claudio running over O'Reilly afterwards did as well. So I thought the match was good. I am fine with the finish being not definitive like that. And then the payoff is Orange Cassidy just casually saying blood and guts, right? So
I like
effective
that
stuff.
In comparison to like Regal would always shout war games.
Right.
But yeah, I don't think this is quite as good as the match last week, but still a really strong one. I think O'Reilly continues to look good, and this is only good for him, I think. I'd love for them to do something else with this. I'd love to see O'Reilly actually get an actual win down the line, but I doubt it.
Me too.
Nonetheless, I love these two matches that we got out of this. They're both really good. This does seem to confirm that we'll get this blood and guts match. But Hayter made the challenge for the women's one weeks ago, and that hasn't been official. So this means nothing.
No follow-up to that, really, eh?
No, they're like, oh, the challenge has been thrown up, but the heels haven't accepted. Now we're in the women's. I wonder if the women's tag title tournament means like they don't want to do the blood and guts anymore.
Maybe.
Unless you have the Sisters of Sin get eliminated as soon as possible, because then I don't think you have anyone in blood and guts that would know, because Willow and okay, so you might not be like, maybe that's why they're not doing it now, because they seem pretty intent on doing the women's
just
guts.
Not mentioned at all now.
Yeah, it's strange. Maybe next year.
Could be.
Then we get Monet and Statlander. They're brawling backstage. They brawl to the entrance stage. Statlander throws Monet onto the apron. Athena attacks her from behind. Backstab her into an eclipse, which was kind of neat. Monet gets Statlander in her submission until Willow's music hits. Her and Harley Cameron run down for the save. The heels retreat. This is fine, but they didn't really do much.
Well, it gets Athena and Monet on because they're a tag team. It gets another tag team out there. It gets.
Are they facing off in the bracket? I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'm gonna review my notes. Yes.
There you go. So that makes sense. Just getting them tag teams out there, reminding us the division exists.
It does. It does. It does. But yeah, this was fine. It didn't really add much to the Monet feud with Statlander or the tournament, but I guess it previews the tournament.
I guess
this is their match next week, which could be good actually. Harley's the only one that's like kind of iffy,
but she's entertaining at least.
She is, but in terms of the match next week, we'll see. We get highlights of Massacre Dorada from All Out, because he's facing Bandito on Collision for the ROH title, which might actually be worth checking out.
Nice to see Dorada on TV again, because since that match that blew us away that we were there for, we haven't really heard anything about him or from him.
Yeah. Then we get Bandito promo with his grandma talking about watching him wrestle. It was just like some stuff before, and then she was praising him after the match with Okada on Dynamite. Not a lot here, but just kind of endears Bandito to people more, I guess, right?
I think so. And it's like adds depth to him because it's a mask guy. So it's like he's a real person and he has a grandma who's proud of him. And it's too bad that it's just that they don't do this proactively more often to help people get over rather than just reacting because he's gotten over. You know what I mean? It'd be nice if they got out ahead of this.
Really has gotten him over.
And do this kind of thing to add depth to, or just create some realism to certain people. I don't know. I thought this was really cool, and his grandma's adorable.
Then we get Hayter and Amanada versus the Sisters of Sin in the long-awaited, hard-fought quarterfinals of the women's tag title tournament. Both teams have had a long and arduous
A feather
road
in
to
their
get
cap
here.
to get to the quarterfinals, man.
They
That's a
fought long
long
and hard.
It's a long
Against the
haul.
best teams in the world, numerous rounds of competition, all
right.
leading up to the quarterfinals.
That's right.
We're at an Elite 8 right now. We get Hayter and Amanada with the double suplex to Sky Blue. Blue and Hart hit Hayter with a double flatliner.
Yes. There's a real flatliner coming up on NXT, I think it was.
Yeah. Was it? It was Kendall Gray, wasn't it?
It is her finisher. Pater.
Kind of like Pater.
Yeah.
Or like I saw someone say it's Oblivion without the ropes, like Liv Morgan's finisher without the ropes.
It is. Yeah, that's fair.
Which is not a compliment because I think Liv Morgan's finisher is terrible.
Once in a while, it looks good.
It was just like Liv Morgan's one, especially with the ropes. It just relies on someone falling on their face. There's no really added impact from her other than like I guess her weight pulling them down, but like it really doesn't look like there's added impact.
Yeah. Hey, the zigzag's back too, so
yeah. The zigzag is the best finisher ever, so that's fine. Anyways, double flapjack from the heels and double kicks to the head for a 2 count. Hart and Blue go to suplex Hayter. She suplexes them both, tags out Amanada for the hot tag flurry. Then towards the end, we get Tekla coming from under the ring with a cheap shot to Hayter. Then she rolls back under the ring.
Even though they didn't know it was Tekla, they thought it was just Julia Hart.
That was Excalibur, yeah. Also, Danielson was dressed as Hechicero. I don't know when I'm going to mention that, but yeah, that was kind of funny. Him and Excalibur both in masks. And then we get Blue and Hart hitting this like assisted swinging Uranagi for the win, which looked kind of cool. I thought
it was all right, yeah. They really want Hart and Blue to be something, right? But I think they were the lesser team here. Hayter and Amanada,
I think they're great, and
they're cool, aggressive style. They dominated this match.
Yeah, and we always kind of we've never been high on the Sisters of Sin. Those two, I think Julia Hart's always been kind of a tough sell for me.
Her in a forearm exchange was tough today.
Sky Blue's always kind of sucked too. Sorry to Fletcher, but your girl sucks.
A fine TV tag, I guess, but
I also said it was fine.
The wrong team won.
The faces made the results a little clear, like you were saying.
Yeah, they dominated this.
For sure.
Yep.
But it makes sense, I guess. The Sisters of Sin are a more established team. I just thought they wouldn't win because they suck.
Right.
And I guess the finish makes sense because Tekla lost to Hayter, so we're going to continue that feud.
Mm-hmm. And they had to win by shenanigans. So
hopefully not on pay-per-view because no offense, I don't really need to see Hayter and Tekla again.
I don't either. It was
not that it was bad. It was just kind of boring.
Great. Yeah, it was there. It happened.
Yeah, I just didn't care about it. Mm-hmm. We get Bane and Ford in an interview. Ford is injured. She tore her UCL. She's not competing. Marina Shafir will probably take her place.
She does not sound good talking about it.
It was terrible.
Pretty rough. And it's not like Bane's amazing on the mic either, but she is a presence at least. My goodness.
Bane does have a presence, yeah. Bane and Shafir is kind of an interesting prospect, I feel like.
Could be.
It's just so weird. I'm kind of interested.
Yeah. Definitely a mixed pairing for sure.
Not interested to the point where I'd watch it on Collision.
And Moxley does his best to put them over.
I thought his reaction was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He's always had good facial expressions.
True.
We get our main event, which is another 4-way, this time singles guys. It's Joe, Lashes, Hook, and Ricochet.
So who deserves this shot?
All right, let's
walk through this. Samoa Joe
just lost the title match.
Okay. And he wasn't the champion, so it's not like he's entitled a rematch or something. Lashley?
No, he lost clean. Lashley.
Singles career going well?
He hasn't had a lot of singles matches, so that already doesn't help him. But
correct.
And he just won a trios match at Wrestle Dream, but then lost a trios match on Dynamite.
But looked really good as a single, I guess, in that.
He does tend to dominate. So he's kind of neutral, I guess. Ricochet.
Love him.
Just lost a trios match.
Okay. And Hook?
After winning one on Dynamite. I guess if you want to... No, he lost one on Dynamite too. So for Ricochet, he's lost 2 trios matches. And then Lashley, I guess, is 1-2, lost 1. So I guess Lashley's up. So Lashley, we'll go with Lashley. And then I'd say Joe over Ricochet. Because at least he contested a singles match.
And he was in the title scene.
He lost 2 matches.
Yeah.
Right? Hook. 1 matches on Collision.
So where does that put him? The most qualified?
Okay. Okay. So
Go ahead.
So I know one of the matches, at least one or two of the matches, which is against
Technically, they're singles
people,
matches. Andy won
and
them.
then
So
Keith and Big Bill. So I think a couple of them have been tag matches with Eddie Kingston. So his all singles career is also, but I feel like he's also been winning. I think it's contested between Hook and Lashley for most credit.
that's funny. So I wonder who's going to win this match, anyways.
Like Joe makes sense being here, but it's not because he's been winning.
No, just
I guess Joe
storyline makes sense.
Joe just won a trios match because him and the Ops beat those.
True.
So never mind. Joe has won a match.
There you go.
Okay, but it seems worse when you say lost a singles match, won a trios match.
Mm-hmm.
So
here we are.
Yeah. Like on paper, most of it makes sense because Joe and Lashley are legit. Ricochet's prominent as well. Like on paper, Hook's the one that seems the dumbest. But then you look at if you were to look at win-loss records recently, Hook would probably make the most sense to be.
He's the favorite.
Even though he said he was the underdog.
Right.
So, Lashley and Hook are both throwing Ricochet around with suplexes. Hook pins him off the Northern Lights. Lashley pulls him off. Then they start going at it. Ricochet with the suicide dive to Lashley doesn't knock him down. Joe knocks them both down with the suicide dive. We get Hook and Joe trading some hard chops. Lashley catches Ricochet and he kind of shifts him into a Dominator for 2. That was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Hook broke the pin though. We get Ricochet taking out Lashley with the dive, then Sasuke special onto Joe, then big shooting star in the ring to Hook for 2. We get Hook dodging the spear gun, locks Ricochet in the Red Room, but Joe breaks it just by dropping on both of them with the senton, which I thought was cool. Probably best sequence of the match is Joe gets Hook up for Muscle Buster. Lashley spears him, so he spears him into a Muscle Buster, which I thought was kind of cool.
The spear
then
looked weak, but it'd be hard to do too well.
It wasn't a perfect spear, but the sequence was still pretty cool.
It was.
And Lashley pins him, but Ricochet breaks the pin up with a 450 splash. Ricochet hits Lashley with the chair, which he absorbs. He chases Ricochet up the ramp, and that allows Joe to lock Hook in the Coquina clutch and get the win. We get Shivani congratulating Joe afterwards, and we get all the people in inflatable suits. Joe wants the Ops to make sure that he's a safe environment to sign the contract. So they take them all out. They unmask the Puff Marshmallow Man because they think it's Hangman. It is not. It's some random goober.
Well, and at that point, I thought, oh, this is so obvious. One of these people in the costume, but they were one step ahead of me, which is nice. I like when that happens.
Joe signs the contract, says Hangman's not as creative as he used to be, so he apologizes for the carnage. Hangman's days are numbered. He will not be a champion. Joe will be the next champion. They toast with beer bottles. Hangman appears behind Joe dressed as Shivani in whatever Shivani's costume was. And then he kicks Shibata in the hobs and the nuts. Beer bottles Joe, buckshot to Joe, beats him down until security separate them.
Yeah, it was cool because he was lip syncing Shivani speaking, and then it cut mid sentence into Hangman's own voice.
I did like it.
So that was a cool way to go. Like, yes, it's a lot of effort and trouble for Hangman when he could have probably just run out and attacked him, but it's playing mind games, and he has a history of being in costumes and surprising people, right? So
I think it also made Joe not look stupid because how could he have seen that coming? But at least he tried to take out Hangman by taking out the Marshmallow Man, right?
Yep.
At least it makes Joe look like he knows his stuff.
I agree. He
doesn't look stupid.
He doesn't. He was kind of one step ahead, but then Hangman was even ahead of him. So neither one looks dumb here. I didn't think it was kind of a different way to get Hangman in costume.
Bit of a long-winded way to get there, but I thought the payoff was good.
Yeah, it was good. Overall, the show, I feel like
the match.
What's that?
What about the match?
Oh, the match, I actually really liked it. I
thought it was pretty good.
Me too. I think. Sorry, I forgot we didn't talk about it. I think Ricochet is so good at being like the opportunistic, weaselly kind of chicken heel, because you've got Joe who's the killer heel and whatever, and Ricochet is just perfect in that role. And I don't know. I thought this match was really good. Obviously,
I think Ricochet's been an underratedly good signing. I think him and Okada were two signings we were kind of not thrilled about, but then have proved to be so valuable.
And I think Lashley looked like a beast in stretches in this. Hook, whatever he did, his thing.
Hook looked good.
He didn't look bad.
He's not great on the mic, but he looks pretty solid in the ring generally.
A really good 4-way with stakes, but you knew who was winning, I guess.
Yeah, that was the only thing is the result was never in doubt, but because he was the only one with momentum and story, right?
Right.
But there were some really well done sequences, like the one with the Muscle Buster Spear 450 was really cool, I thought.
It was.
The aftermath took a little while, but I thought the payoff was worth it. But Hangman, last couple years of Full Gear, he's had some crackers. Last year, he had that match with Switchblade, the second match with Switchblade that we really liked. And the year before that was Texas Death with Swerve. So Hangman and Joe got a lot to live up to.
He never has bad matches, so the
That's
two
true.
of them won't. I went with a B show. I feel like the star power, we're missing a bunch of guys for sure. Like not having Swerve and Ospreay and MJF is kind of showing at times, but I did enjoy the matches and I don't know, angle segment.
I like the theme of it too. I like that it did look at least visibly different for the most part.
And the second half of the Callis Family Summit I liked, but no segments really stood out. And again, the Bandito stuff was cool, I guess.
The only match that was really weak, I thought, was probably the women's tag.
Agree. So it felt like a B show to me. It was good, not amazing, but a good show. Yeah. I enjoyed it.
I would definitely go with the B as well.
All right. That finishes up Dynamite. We'll move into some, I got some Halloween-based trivia coming up in Off the Top of His Head. All right, so I stuck with Halloween theme. I don't know if there'll be any duplicates from last week because there was some Halloween themed stuff in there too. So it's 20 questions. It divided it.
Last week it was Halloween Havoc, right?
It was. So some may reappear because they're Halloween themed, obviously. So AI broke it into 2 different chunks for whatever reason. So this first 10 is Halloween Havoc and spooky wrestling trivia. Are you ready? What year did the very first Halloween Havoc take place? And which 2 wrestlers competed in the main event?
Was it 91 or 92?
They're saying that's not early enough.
89?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. Main event?
Flair.
So does it help if I say a Thunderdome match?
Not
so
really.
It's tag team. Flair and?
Sting.
Correct. Versus?
Think Road Warriors.
Face paint. No, but face paint. On
Faces,
one.
On one.
Yeah.
Mang and the Barbarian.
Muda and Funk. I don't think you'll get there.
Oh, I would not have gotten that.
Possibly. Okay. Number 2. Which wrestler famously debuted a new look with face paint resembling the Crow at Halloween Havoc 96? Are you being facetious right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sting.
Correct. I'm like, are you serious right now? Who was the first? Oh, sorry, no. Halloween Havoc 92. I think you mentioned this last week. The main event was Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal. What match did the wheel land on?
Coal Miners Club.
With who?
Roberts and Sting.
Right. Who was the first WWE superstar to appear in a Buried Alive match? And who was his opponent? I guess who was in it?
Undertaker.
And?
Mankind.
Yes. Year?
96.
Wow, you're a nerd. Pay-per-view?
In Your House, Buried Alive.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? What is wrong?
It's named after the match.
At Halloween Havoc 98, who infamously fell from the rafters before his match with Hogan? Not
Warrior.
who you would... Huh?
Warrior?
Yes, I was going to say not who you'd think, because you'd think Sting.
No, I knew it was... I just knew that was the show where that terrible match happened.
Yes.
How could I forget?
What was the name of Kevin Sullivan's dark horror-themed stable in WCW?
Dungeon of Doom?
Included?
Oh, well...
You're right, that's the answer, but let's see who you know now. They listed 3.
Okay. Well, so it's not Three Faces of Fear, right?
No, it's Dungeon of Doom, you're right.
So what, Zodiac, Shark, I guess Sullivan, for one, Giant was there, Yeti, Z-Gangsta, Final Solution.
Kamala?
Morris was in there once. Kamala was there once. Oh, like the Master, the Grandmaster, whatever he was. Luger was there at one point.
And the Butcher, I think.
The Butcher. Or no, he was the Zodiac, I think. Abdullah? No, the Butcher would have been
Brutus.
Leslie.
Yeah.
But he was the Butcher when they did Three Faces of Fear. I think by the time it was Dungeon of Doom, I think that's when he went to Zodiac. But then remember, he was a spy the whole time.
What a ring general.
Yeah.
At which Halloween Havoc did Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero have their legendary mask versus title?
97.
Correct. Who portrayed the Halloween Phantom?
I don't even know what that is.
Unmasked to reveal at Halloween Havoc 91? This does not sound familiar. They're saying it's Rick.
I don't know.
Rick Rude. I don't know.
Is that
timeline matchup?
Yeah,
I think so.
Seems possible.
Which WWE Halloween episode featured John Cena dressing up as Vanilla Ice for his first rap promo?
Wasn't like SmackDown 03, I think.
02, they're saying. Pretty close. Halloween.
Oh, I know it would have been. That makes more sense actually, because he would start doing that in 03. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
Who did Spin the Wheel Make the Deal originally parody in WCW promotional videos leading up to Halloween Havoc?
What?
It was parodying a movie, I guess.
Oh, I wouldn't know.
Mad Max. I don't think you would know.
I would never know.
So now we're moving into creepy gimmicks and horror-inspired moments, okay?
Okay.
Which ECW wrestler used to come to the ring covered in blood, inspired by horror movie imagery, and was managed by the Sinister Minister? I do not remember this version of this person.
I don't even know this.
Who was famous for losing all the time?
Mikey Whipwreck?
Yeah, I don't remember
Really?
this gimmick.
I don't know. I know Sinister Minister is James Mitchell,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Knew that.
And he's around still, or was, NWA and whatnot.
Wrestle House.
Who did The Undertaker defeat in the first ever casket match? I think this is correct.
I'm trying to think when that would have been.
They're
Was
saying 92.
Right. Roberts?
No. Somebody we just mentioned, actually, who we may have never mentioned before.
Ed Leslie?
No, but that was the group. That's where we were mentioning him. This person.
Who? No, I'm trying to think who I even mentioned.
Big man, challenger, never had a
Kamala?
title. Yeah, Kamala.
Okay, interesting. That does make sense.
Which wrestling faction debuted in 2012 with eerie vignettes filmed in a swamp?
It was 2013. It was Wyatt.
Oh,
I guess it depends. If you're talking NXT, probably it's 2012. If we're talking main roster, then it's 2013.
You're right. Who played the role of the Yeti, who famously hugged Hulk Hogan?
I wouldn't know that.
Ron Reese. I thought you might know that. I had no clue.
It does sound oddly familiar, but off the top of my head, I wouldn't know that.
What was the name of the storyline location where Bray Wyatt's Firefly Funhouse and the Fiend supposedly existed?
Storyline location?
Yeah.
Isn't the Firefly Funhouse the storyline location? I don't know.
It's called the Firefly Funhouse Dimension, they're saying.
That's
sounds
stupid.
Yeah, I think so too. Which wrestler was billed as being from parts unknown and used
So many.
smoke and mythical lighting during entrances long before The Undertaker?
Papa Shango?
No. This is dumb. Ultimate Warrior. Who
I
faced
wouldn't have said that just because the part's unknown.
Who faced off in the infamous Chamber of Horrors match at Havoc 91?
I know Cactus Jack was in there. I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Sting and the Steiners were.
So Team Sting, yes.
And I know Bill the Butcher was because he took the
he
finish.
had his own team, correct. And then how did it finish?
They strapped Abdullah to an electric chair.
So good. It was so good. Who did the Boogeyman... Sorry, I just remembered this segment. Reading the question. Who did the Boogeyman eat a fake mole off of during a SmackDown segment?
Jillian Hall.
Amazing.
They called it like a growth or whatever. It's
Yes.
so weird.
And he just grabbed it and ate it. In AEW, what special Halloween-themed match did Orange Cassidy win against Matt Hardy in 2021?
I don't remember.
Did this happen?
What is it?
Trick or
I
treat
didn't
street
remember.
fight?
Oh,
Maybe.
okay, probably. That's like just WWE. That's like a run of the mill street fight. And I thought it was like something weird.
No. Which future WWE star wrestled under the masked Phantom of the Ring gimmick on the indie scene early in his career? Canadian that I love, that you've come around on. That I used to bully you about when you were little.
Oh, Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't remember if that's true or
I
not.
saw he's letting his beard gray out right
I saw that too. I saw current. I was like, is that newsworthy? His
No.
new look, considering he could completely change that when he comes back. So
He
it's
could
his
change
current
that.
look.
He could change that tomorrow.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to wrap that up. We'll shift gears talking about some NXT, talking about some Raw. It's our final segment every week. It's Highspots and Restholds. Okay, Halloween Havoc that you did not see, but I watched really quickly. I told you it was pretty mid, and you were not surprised to hear that. And one key prop was missing, which was what?
A wheel.
The wheel wasn't there. They
They
tried to
just didn't do it. It's so weird.
rectify it on NXT, the weekly
I
show.
saw those. It's lame.
So they opened up with Slater and Evans. They beat Mr. Iguana and La Parca. I don't know why they felt the need to have this go 18 minutes. Mr. Iguana is not for me. I don't think he's for you either. Evans and Slater are awesome, but I really didn't care about the other two. And whatever the puppet's name is.
Yeska or whatever.
It's just not anything I'm
It's just so like, I don't know. It feels like something you do like a kid-friendly indie show.
It's Santino Marella, but worse even.
But like, yes, because he's involving the puppet a lot too. And it's like, at what point should it be considered like a foreign object?
And other people have to react to the puppet in ways that are stupid.
And then Finn Balor got his own puppet.
So yeah, exactly. So Swanton 450 to La Parca because I think Iguana dove to the outside and Evans caught him with a cutter, and then we got the Swanton 450, which always looks cool. I gave it 3.25 stars. I thought it was just a little bit better than average. I didn't think it needed to be 18 minutes by any means. The match that surprised me that I thought was the match of the night pretty easily was Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner 3.
So he held the Dr. Wagner.
There you go. Also got 18 minutes, but Page is an awesome heel, and I don't know if you saw, but
his face looks sick.
He basically ripped the top of the mask off of.
I did see that.
So you could see half of the guy's face the whole time. And I guess to distinguish it, because it was a Day of the Dead match, they had darker like mood lighting for this one.
That's all right.
I don't know if you saw, there was a spot where out on the floor it ended up with Wagner like going throat first onto the legs of the table. Like the table was upside down. It looked pretty cool.
I did not.
Page ended up throwing the powder in his face at one point, and then he ended up winning with a twisted grin. I think it was off the ropes through a table. I thought this match was really good, and I think Page is absolutely killing it. This character is such an improvement over what he was doing when he first got there, and I was so mad.
Yeah, when he was NXT champion, they really butchered that.
Yes. Now he's great, and I'll talk about it on NXT. He is really versatile, because whether he's trying to kill Dr. Wagner and rip his mask off, or like interacting with a comedy character in Chelsea Green, like it all works, right?
I've seen some people like not
so
high on him, and some people praise him too much.
He's so good.
I didn't think it's great. I think some people like praise him like he should be like the next world champion. I could see him being a great mid card champion.
I think he's a really great mid card heel, can carry belts. Like I don't see him as
only time I see him being top guy is like I think him being NXT champion makes sense to me, but I don't think there's a universe where he wins like the
and we love
title.
Page. Like don't get us wrong.
I'm just happy he's doing well though.
Me too.
AEW he didn't do enough.
I agree. So Blake Monroe beat Zarya. Zarya was filling in for Sol Ruca because that's a thing we can do now.
Yeah, like I hate it. Was it on here where like Ava asked Sol Ruca, "Do you want anyone to defend that title for you?" When she's thinking about vacating speed time? Like,
yes,
that's not how that works.
And she's like, "No, I'd rather give it up than have Zarya defend it again for me. Defend a different," which I thought was an interesting.
That was kind of funny, but like it's like that's not how titles work.
It's not, and
it's different when it's tag titles and one person is still fine. So it's like Raquel just finds a new partner and it's Roxanne. Sure, but like. This is Sol's title and she can't defend it.
And so at the end of the day, Zarya loses the title for Ruca. I'm starting to wonder if Ruca's injury is just like they're using it as a prop, basically. If she's actually hurt.
That's stupid. I would have just done something where Zarya accidentally cost Ruca. Like, it's just stupid.
So, I don't know if you saw, but Zarya is selling her arm like crazy, her shoulder.
And like Ruca popped it back in with
Ruca shoves her into the ring post. You're like, oh no, or is it finally coming to a head? But no, that was because she's so smart, and it just popped Zarya's shoulder back in
I remember
place.
Baszler doing that in a match once.
And then Monroe like tripped/kicked the crutch out of Ruca. So Zarya goes to check on Ruca, and then it was glamour shot on the floor, glamour shot in the ring. So again, like 3.25 stars. Like it was fine. It was better than average, but not great. We did get a major title change as well after that, right? I guess there was lots of title changes on this show, actually. 3, right? Tatum Paxley becomes NXT Women's Champion. She beat JC Jane in 16 minutes. I thought this one over-delivered for me. The crowd has really accepted Tatum Paxley. Like, she's very popular.
The sucky part is she feels like an NXT success.
I think she is.
I don't think she's going to thrive on the main roster.
No, of course not. That
feels like one of the ones like Vaudevillains.
It's even far between.
Even like Hugger Bailey to an extent, where like she's like one of the ones where like NXT will accept her because that's how NXT's always been. But I don't think she has much room in the main roster.
Probably
Maybe
not.
the card title.
And it's one of those
or
things
tag
like
division.
sometimes they connect with the regular crowd in NXT, but not with the
Yeah,
larger.
exactly.
So you wonder if that's the case with her. Anyways, Dame ended up hitting JC Jane with the title. It does kind of look like she was trying to hit Paxley because again, we're doing this whole
I thought
thing.
it was wasn't it she tried to hit Paxley, or like it looked like she was trying to hit Paxley.
Yes.
Like she ducked and then Jane hit the rolling encore to Izzy Dame, I think it was.
And then
the
Psycho
Graveyard
Trap, whatever
or whatever
that Paxley hits. I thought it was good. Probably my second favorite on the show. That was pretty bland. I went 3.5 stars. Dark State won their NXT tag titles back from the Hardys. This went 19 minutes, and considering who was involved, it wasn't bad. I don't have a desire to see one super over the hill team putting over a very young, inexperienced
How many
team.
people were like, yeah, the reign was so short, but they did what they were supposed to do, and like what could they have possibly accomplished to help Dark State in like I think it was the 18 days
Right.
they did nothing.
Nothing.
They won the titles, I think cut a promo on NXT with the Broken Hardy stuff, and then
It's another credential for them to.
That's all it was. It's
Yeah.
just like another notch in the resume to say like they won. That's the one WWE title they didn't win. Like it's so stupid.
So we had Jeff and Matt at one point took out Cutler and Sugars with Swanton and a leg drop through tables at ringside.
Drops like that, I don't understand.
To take them out for a while. And then you had Lennox and Griffin hit a 3D for a near fall. Jeff Swanton off a ladder. Griffin moves out of the way. So Jeff went through 2 tables at once. And then basically it was the Dark State hit the Doomsday Device clothesline to Jeff Hardy through a table for the win. So it was fine. Like 3.25 stars again. Like better than average, but not amazing. And then Saints beat Trick in the main event, 16 minutes to retain, about what you would expect. Pretty good, not amazing.
I don't understand they can have like a whole PLE and no match goes over 20 minutes. It's just such a waste.
And the ones that were close, like I didn't feel like the opener needed 18. Paige and Dr. Wagner made good use of it, and then it's 11, 16, 19, 16, yeah.
Just doesn't feel like...
Spear and the devastating Tornado DDT. That's a transitional move for everybody else, but is somehow a finisher for Richard Saints.
And he could spear, he literally speared him, or he could probably Rochambeau.
Yes. I think he could do Rochambeau trick, probably. Anyways, 3.5 stars. C show overall, maybe a bit generous. It was really like, it's crazy because there was 3 title changes, and I'm still like, meh, you know. It's a long ways, we've come a long way from the...
Less title changes on All Out, and like, look how notable that show was.
From the TakeOver days.
Yeah, easily.
So then we talk about Raw super fast. Punk and Uso had an opening segment where they each staked their claim to the World Heavyweight title. Ends in a stare down. Great. Don't care. Penta Rusev ended in a no contest with Los Americanos interfering. So then Pierce makes, surprise, surprise, the Intercontinental title match is a triple threat with Dom, Penta, Rusev at main event, which actually could be a cool match at least. Somewhat interesting.
It could be interesting.
Roxanne beat Nikki Bella with the Pop Rocks, and then the heels beat down Bella after. Vaquer comes out to even the odds. Please get Nikki Bella out of here. I don't understand why we need her. But anyways,
return run.
Breaker beat LA Knight with a spear. Don't know if it was shenanigans or not. Only watched some clips of it. McDonough got a big win over Sheamus, your boy. It was.
It was not clean, but McDonough won a singles match, which is more than Balor can say. So
very obvious shillelagh attack by Balor led to the win. It was Spanish Fly top rope from JD
I don't
for the
think
win.
Balor's won any singles matches this year, so McDonough's got that going for him, I guess.
And what was reported as a good match, only saw highlights. Bliss and Flair defeating Bayley and Lyra to retain the tag belts.
I'm sure it didn't suck.
And the Kabuki Warriors attack after, take out the champs, kind of everybody, and then Bayley stares them down. And then the Warriors finally leave. So there's your obligatory Raw so that I can say we cover Raw in the description.
We did not do it.
We did not do it. So NXT, the show this week, we have Trick is first. He's furious after his loss to Ricky Saints at Havoc. So the show starts with him like verbally abusing the production crew as he's kind of invaded the production room. Rants his way to the ring, talks about wanting another match with Saints. Ava comes out, tells him that he simply lost. There was no controversy. Saints comes out to like get involved in a brawl, but literally he slides under the ropes and then it just cuts off. And it's weird because later in the show, they show highlights of the brawl and show more than they showed. It was really weird. Well, it was a very quick cut.
Wouldn't it make the, because you know how they always like
And it lasted all night.
Be like they'll do a segment. They'll be like earlier tonight, and they show the thing
Yeah.
that you already saw. So I mean, at least they're showing you something you didn't see.
That's true. It's like because normally I'm like, we just saw this like half an hour ago.
Now it's annoying because you didn't see it. So
and it was
really
a really quick cut, and then we revisit it later.
There's no way to win.
Jasper Troy basically squashes Axiom to win a shot at the speed title. I can't believe I'm saying that.
Jasper Troy versus El Grande Americano.
The other El Grandes were in the crowd. Troy won with the World's Strongest Slam and the Black Bull Slam.
And Tyler Bate came back.
I hated this for multiple reasons. Speed matches are kind of dumb.
And Axiom is sick.
Troy's really green. Axiom is awesome, and he basically gets squashed here. So,
and also Pete Dunne should be Pete Dunne.
I guess the short matches give Troy a chance to not get exposed while he's learning, and he looks like a monster. But
kills Axiom.
It's 3 minutes. It's not like what can you say? Ava talks to Sol Ruka backstage. Ruka's off her crutches, but still has the brace and is not cleared to wrestle. So this is what we were saying. Ava gives Sol the chance to have someone defend the speed title.
That's not how titles work. Or like, it's not even like you can make him. You say like, "Oh, do you want
precedent set now, man?"
No,
forever canon.
Now you can say like, couldn't at least Ava say, "Hey, do you want to do an interim champion?" Because then Ruka has the chance to have a unification match when she's cleared. That's fine because that precedent has been set.
No,
in like anywhere else, but like, no.
So and she kind of looks at Zarya and then is like, "No, I'm just going to vacate it instead because that's better." She's like, "I want it to be a fighting champion, so I'm going to vacate it
for the speed title." By the way,
and Zarya ends up walking away.
The North American title, she's like, "No, it's fine."
And yeah, it's just like you'd rather give up the title than give your friend a chance to defend it anyways. And this is where I'm like, is her leg injury a work? And like, because it would be cool if Zarya eventually snaps and like attacks her leg.
If it is a work, this is a stupid way to do the storyline. Because the whole defend the title for me thing is stupid. You could do a split in so many other ways that make sense. Like if this is a work, this is a stupid way.
When's the last time someone has a serious leg injury and just stays on TV? Like full-on brace, can't walk, on crutches, on TV every week, involved in storyline still. It's a little bit weird.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it'd be stupid.
It might be. Paxley and the Culling are into ring to talk. Paxley is really connecting with the crowd again. And I think just her taking the title off a bland heel like Jane is a bit of a relief, right? Like it's something new. She'll never forget the struggle to get the title. She made the most out of her opportunity. She says if this creepy little weirdo can be NXT champion, then anyone can, right? Really tapping into that crowd for sure. Yeah. She wants to give everybody else the same opportunity. Izzy Dame interrupts, disagrees with this strategy. She doesn't think Paxley should really be a fighting champion, reminds Tatum of all her previous failures. Tatum should make people earn the title. Paxley cuts her off, brings back the wheel. She's like, people were complaining the wheel wasn't there, so I've got it full of names and they'll decide my challenger. And it's... Oh, first of all, Spears points out that Izzy Dame's not on the list, on the wheel. Paxley says, of course not, since they would never fight each other because they're best friends. Wheel spins. It's Lola Vice. Paxley is honestly thrilled to give Lola this opportunity. And so the Culling are not back to full heels yet after their week of being a super baby face. Yeah. But clearly we're back in like the Dame is not here for what's best for Paxley and is not complimentary of Paxley and whatever. So Paxley's come a long way as a performer. She's, like you said, an NXT success story, which is not always the best.
No.
Because it means a lot of times that step beyond NXT, you're not.
So when I say she's an NXT success story, yeah, I mean, like, she's probably not.
In NXT, she's a success.
Like, Oba Femi's a success story, but I think he's got big things ahead of him.
Right.
Or like Braun Breaker was.
Right.
I would have thought Mello was.
I know, but not everybody. And then in a backstage segment later, Lola thanks Paxley for the title shot and apologizes in advance because obviously she thinks she's going to win. Ren Sinclair's talking to Kendall Gray ahead of Gray's match with Lash Legend. Kendall's confident. She wants Ren with her at ringside. And Ren is bringing up the Ren QCC. So I don't know if she's recruiting.
Are they even a thing anymore?
The Ren
I guess her and Dempsey are still the NQCC.
Yes, but so she's starting her own like female faction maybe, and obviously Gray with her amateur background would be a logical choice for that. So I don't know. We'll see.
I just think Kendall Gray looks kind of boring, but
she it's funny, I'm going to talk about her here. So she, being Kendall Gray, defeated Lash Legend in 11 minutes, retains her Evolve Championship.
Don't you love that there's two of the women's title matches on the show are not NXT?
Right. And Lash has nothing to do with Evolve, but
Also, two, like I almost said the two title matches, but because I didn't know about the Paxley one beforehand. But the two advertised title matches were not for
right.
NXT titles.
So Gray shows off technical ability. Lash uses power to slow her down. They cut to a scene of Jordan Grace is squatting while looking at a picture of herself with the Knockouts title. Like as the match is happening, they go to split screen with the Jordan Grace being the larger of the two. But anyways, we get the Shades of Grey, which is the jumping flatliner for the sudden win.
Good name.
So here's the thing with Gray. On one hand, she has an extensive amateur background. I'm sure she's going to pick up pro wrestling really quickly.
Hasn't she been here for a bit, though?
She has. But on the other hand, I don't think WWE could care much less about a woman's in-ring ability. I think they care much more about her marketability, her look, her personality.
Yeah.
And I think her personality is lacking so far. So while I want to be like, oh man, she knows how to actually wrestle and she can hit suplexes and she could be like
she just looks kind of bland.
Like a cool female shooter, but I don't think they'll let her do that because that's not how they do things.
I mean, if they want a cool shooter, they could have pushed Baszler, but that ship is long sailed.
Right. I think Gray...
Obviously, Gray's not FNA, but like you get what I'm saying.
And Gray has more of the look they'll go for rather than Baszler.
That is true.
But I think she's in the wrong company to be doing like I'm a shooter kind of gimmick. But anyway.
Well, she can always go to TNA and then come back.
The match was fine. Some awkward moments as you would expect when Lash is the veteran in a pro wrestling match. So, and then Ren celebrates with Gray after the match and they do some sort of hand signal, which I didn't recognize. Maybe it's... Did No Quarter Catch Kiru have one? Anyways, it doesn't matter. We get back to... Yes, maybe that was it. Do that again.
Like that?
But I thought I had it. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. We get back-to-back selfie videos from Miles Bourne. He says it's him or Heights. Heights will always be his brother regardless of what happens, but he's ready to do whatever it takes. And then Heights has a selfie video while fishing. I don't know if you saw this, but he's like crouched down and it's like awkward because it's basically his crotch is right like front and center of this as he's squatting down.
I did not see that. No.
So anyways, what's his thing? Bourne is his brother, but brothers fight. He has something to prove. And yeah, it's a weird angle to film it from. And then the match happens and Miles Bourne beats Tavion Heights in 10 minutes. And this is where I noted, and I don't notice these things, that Bourne's music is very generic, I was telling you.
I haven't heard it, so I need to investigate.
They show respect to start, and then again in the middle, lots of technical work. Briggs joins commentary about halfway through. Heights takes the time to yell at him. Briggs gets on the apron, gets taken out by Heights. Bourne dives onto both. Back in the ring, Bourne counters the belly-to-belly suplex into an inside cradle for the win. So this started off slowly, was starting to build. It certainly doesn't feel like these are two brothers fighting it out. You know what I mean? These guys aren't good enough. Well, Bourne's had some good matches, and Heights has had some pretty decent, but they're not ready to convince me of that. You know what I mean? The intensity and the whatever. It felt like just the two guys having a match. It didn't feel like anything personal. Briggs drags Heights out of the ring and attacks him. Trick sneaks up behind Bourne and hits him with a chair, maybe sort of signaling his next program if he's ever done with Saints. Calls out Ricky Saints, who comes out, and they have to be separated by security, so another pull apart for them. Ethan Page is backstage with Chelsea Green. Page said they have a big match for the AAA mixed tag team titles this Sunday.
That makes sense. That is a thing that they have.
And Green is looking for a Slagent to join her security because
Piper Niven's injured and her career might be over.
Right, I heard that. That's too bad. She's kind of cool, not like given the best roles in the world, but constantly on TV, so she's ahead of a lot of people, right? Thea Hale walked by saying she believes in Joe Hendry. Hendry pops up from a shipping crate that's back there.
This is what he's doing instead of being on TNA, where he's supposedly signed, since they keep saying that.
Told them to worry about their opponents. Green said they would be the AAA mixed tag champions, and Hale comes and takes Joe away. So this is where I'm like, Paige has this ability to be fine in this silliness, and then also like trying to kill people in a match and demask them. He's just super. What's the word I used before that I'm looking for? Versatile. That's my word. Paxi and Vice. They have a match. Not really. 4 minutes, ended in a no contest, which makes sense. I was kind of wondering, like, Paxi's a fresh champion. She's not losing. They've just gotten around to rebuilding Lola Vice. I don't feel like she's losing. So they really didn't do anything here. They're saving this, or they just didn't want to do much here. Before Fatal Influence could interfere. And they take out Izzy Dame at ringside, attack Vice and Paxley, and that leads to no contest. So that's where you are. Blake Monroe, she's back in the hot tub, in case you're wondering. And now, while in the hot tub, shilling for Maybelline. Every week now they find a way to do this. It's awesome.
Gross.
She talks about the title being a mirror represents the obsession that follows her everywhere she goes. When you face the glamour, hell is never too far behind. Nothing burns brighter and darker than Blake Monroe. Her starlight curse will live forever. So, I was just talking about Kendall Gray being in the wrong company to do things. I think I like the idea of I'm this super beautiful, glamorous, bubble bath, makeup woman, but then I'm also a vicious killer, bloodthirsty in the ring.
Yeah.
That is a cool idea. You cannot do that in WWE to the point where I'm going to be satisfied with it.
I thought the glamour thing would work better there, no? Or is that
the glamour part? Yes.
WWE. Or no, sorry, not WWE. Is that what she did in AEW? Or just like, I feel like the glamour part wasn't as toned up.
They've kind of...
That's ridiculous.
That's what I think. They've circled back around to
this is
beautiful but deadly in their own little way that they go too far into the glamour.
AEW was less like, it was more deadly but still beautiful.
So, right. And I don't think WWE can go lean into the deadly part to the point where I'm going to be happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because AEW definitely did.
They did. They can. They would do it again. But this... So I like the idea of this, but I don't think there's any chance that this company executes it the way I want it. Like, I want her to just bloody people all the time and have... That's not happening.
Hey, the roster can get haircuts.
That's right. She could go a Brutus the Barber gimmick instead, where she's cutting because whoa, this is gonna make sense because the women in there with all their Maybelline products. Oh, that's not hair though. Probably I was gonna say we might get some synergy or something happening.
They'll just get sponsored by a salon.
Their hair is so important to them because the products they use make it like basically you're cutting off an appendage. But anyways, exactly. So that's my complaint. They've improved the character with her, but they're not going to be able to do it the way I want them to. Anonymous catches Javon Evans on the phone with Slater. And this is kind of dumb too, because Anonymous used to catch people doing things like they wouldn't want necessarily caught, but he's just on his phone with his buddy. What does he care? Right? Dark State approach and warn him that they're basically going to beat him up or destroy him or whatever. And I think they say things so unclearly. I think the two non-title Dark State guys are challenging Evans and Slater for next week.
Are they doing a Freebird rule?
They're not, I don't think.
But
so it's been Osiris and the smart one,
Dion Book,
because he has glasses. Dion Bookie McGlasses.
So let me get this straight. No Freebird rules, but if I get injured, you want to defend my title for me?
That's correct. That's correct. Even though these are monster heels who won't follow anyone's rules or anything, they're still like, no, we must abide.
Even though Freebird is an established rule, that also makes more sense.
Yeah, it does make more sense. Kalani Jordan retains the Knockouts title when she uses the belt to take out Jordynne Grace in her 12-minute main event. So I don't know if this means Kalani is full heel or she's just...
Wasn't she flirting with being heel?
She
earlier?
has been kind of tweener, I feel like. And this was kind of... It still could be... She's not a full heel. She's just doing anything for the title. And she's kind of still in between. Commentary did at least once have to clarify names because we got two Jordans in the ring. So you start to see why these rules about multiple names kind of make sense.
This one's not that bad, though, because you can just go first name and last name for each.
And then you have Ariana Grace and Jordynne Grace. And it's just...
That one, then you go first names.
Yeah. So this is stupid because Trick and Saints are still brawling. They brawl up the ramp. They actually brawl through the ring at one point.
As you do.
Kalani Spanish Fly off the top. They roll through the ring, brawling. It's the ref's distracted, and that leads to Kalani using the belt to take out Grace. I thought it was a good back and forth main event. Felt more important than some of the things on Havoc almost, although it leaves me going like, what's NXT's plan for Jordynne Grace?
Because she keeps losing matches. She's not going to beat, or she did beat Mariah May, but she's not going to win the title.
No titles, no huge wins. Like Mariah May is her biggest win. Is she just there to put people over? Is she the one of the ones that's like you were at TNA for too long and now we're just...
Is she like a Sean Spears?
Right.
Is she a Sean Spears or is she an Ethan Page?
Right. I think we don't know, but it's looking more like Spears. But she shouldn't be based on her pedigree and her ability. Like, she can't talk or whatever.
She's not that old.
She's not, I don't think. And she's kind of unique. Like, you don't really have other than Cargill, I guess.
But like Cargill sucks.
Isn't she a heel now?
She just turned heel.
Yeah, I heard some of it.
I really couldn't care less.
She needs to be a heel, I think. But anyways,
I didn't like her as babyface.
That's it for NXT, and I think that's it for 276, yeah?
Believe so.
So by the time you folks are watching this, the Blue Jays could very well be World Series champions. Go Blue Jays, if not. Everybody wants them to win. Let's get on board, right? Who could cheer for the Dodgers? Nobody. Anyways, thanks for joining us. We'll be back here for 276 next Saturday, and until then, everybody, take care.